Oh, no.
He was yelling at them for no reason.
Well.
Get some of that. You're gonna need it. Yeah. That's okay. We're just starting. Millennial Meltdown. Forgot to press record. Hi, we're recording now.
Guys, this is episode 2. And we literally forgot to hit record. I'm recording this now because one day this is going to be funny. Not today. It ain't funny right now, but one day. Oh my god.
Damn, Daniela.
I need the thing at the beginning. That's gonna make me shit.
I'm not recording. And then it's gonna play the intro.
It's gonna be my face when I was like.
It's gonna play the intro. And then, yeah.
Okay, since I'm recording now, we are now recording. This is episode 2 of Generations. All right. Hey guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the generation.
What?
Welcome to the Generationally Speaking podcast. Do you feel like you're loud? Do you feel like I'm loud?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm louder because you turned up the thing.
Okay. You don't think I'm too loud though? Like overpowering?
Nope.
Okay. You guys are seeing the real stuff. Welcome to the podcast. I'm V.
I'm Bree.
And this is, again, Generationally Speaking. This is episode 2. It is currently May 23rd, Thursday. When you are hearing this, it will not be that date. But, yeah, it's a good old Thursday. We are out here as adults just trying to shoot a podcast on a work night.
And after work.
Oh, the struggle. Yeah, so today we are going to talk about mental health. So again, episode 2, we're going to get into that in a little bit. But for now, we're just going to check in. How are you today?
Tired.
Tired.
I'm ready for Friday.
Same.
Yeah.
This is my Friday.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm off tomorrow, which is nice. I get to spend some time with my daughter, Nova. So that's good. But yeah. Did you have a good day today?
Yes. I feel like this is so far. Okay.
You work today?
Yes, I worked and then I did photography for
Oh.
the preschool graduation. Not really, like I just took pictures of the families afterwards.
Cute.
Yeah, so that was nice.
For those of you that don't know or didn't watch the first episode, or listen to the first episode, Bree is a teacher.
Yeah.
Is it preschool technically?
I just say toddler because I'm with the 3-year-olds.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Toddler teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's cute. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm loud. I'm sorry.
I'm screaming. And some of the kids that graduated, I had them when they were like 1, so it was like, oh, like I almost cried. It was cute. So I'm going to kindergarten next year.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
that's
crazy.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Dang. What else are y'all doing for them?
Tomorrow we're having a glow party with like black lights and stuff.
Oh,
Well, they're
a
having a
little
party.
Tyler rave.
Yeah, they're having a party and then they invited our class because we're like right next door. So they were like, you guys can join too. But they were just gonna do it for the graduates, but they're letting my class do
Cute.
it. And we're gonna be low in numbers tomorrow because everyone's going on vacation for Memorial Day. So that's gonna be
Oh, I
nice.
forgot Memorial Day's coming up.
Yeah, Monday.
Yes. I have the entire week off next week, so I'm very excited about that. I worked today. Today definitely tested my mental health.
Great.
As every day does.
Great.
Um,
Fitting.
Yeah, went to work. There's a lot of stuff going on at work. We'll get into that. And literally got off work, went home, took a shower, grabbed some wine for today, and I came here, and that was it. But overall, I'm pretty good. Should share what we're drinking today.
Yes.
We've already cracked it open.
It's been one of those days.
So you don't have to worry about us popping bottles today and busting ceilings open. This is Pacific Rim, which I think is like a pretty common.
I've never heard of it.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard of it before. Pacific Rim Sweet Riesling. I don't know what else to say. Like this, it is medium's considered a medium sweet. This wine was curated. I don't know,
We need to have
in Columbia Valley,
a
Washington.
shakoshi next time.
Yeah, we got some snakes. Yeah, it's pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I'm mad at it. I feel like most Rieslings taste the same.
Yeah. I want to try Black Girl Riesling. Have you seen that? Have you seen that at Target?
Yes.
Yeah,
Don't they have a bunch of different ones?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I want to try that.
Yeah. I'll have to try that one episode.
Mm-hmm.
Of girls. No, this is good.
Yeah.
Supposed to swirl it. Smell it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's pretty good. So yeah, what else has been going on this week since we last met? Honestly, not much. Really, like, my world is revolving around work right now and just working on making a decision on whether or not I'm getting out of it. Because there's so much happening.
By the time this is posted, who knows?
Period. Do you have any meltdowns today? Are we millennial meltdowning today?
I have like a personal meltdown, not millennial.
Get into it.
Just my cycle's coming. I can feel it, and that's what it is. Just that everything is just You just feel like you're not in a good mood for no reason, which is like no fun.
Yeah, it does kind of like suck the life out of you.
Yeah. You like it's hard because sometimes like I'll catch myself like being mean to people. I'm like, sorry. Like I'm not trying to be, or like catching an attitude for no reason. It's like I'm so sorry.
I know, and the ones that don't know you, it's like, ooh, they don't actually know what just happened. It's like your friends, they already know. They be like,
right,
bitch, we know what's up with you. I'm like,
right.
and everybody else is just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
she's so mean.
But yeah, that's my meltdown. Nothing millennial wise though that I can think of.
Mine isn't millennial either. I don't know if I even have anything outside of just. I feel like I had one yesterday, and I was like, ooh, I need to talk about that. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back because I don't know. I can't think right now. So mental health. Mental health. I feel like that is like such a popular topic to talk about, which is strange because it's mental health. But it's definitely important. I feel like a lot of people struggle with it, or either that or a lot of people are working hard to maintain it or work on it, especially our generation. Yeah, so everybody has their own specific journey, I feel like. I know for me, my mental health definitely fluctuates. I don't think I've ever been able to like categorize myself as somebody that has suffered with like super duper major issues, like on the level of concern with mental health, but definitely, I don't even know if calling it surface level is right, but like, I guess like normal stuff, like just making sure that I'm taking care of myself with all the outside factors that are like stressing me out.
Right.
But as far as like direct situations, I definitely have dated a lot of people with mental health issues. I think I'm like a magnet for it.
Sips wine.
I don't even know what to call it. I'm a magnet for.
I hate that for you.
Crazy?
I hate that for
Did
you.
I say crazy? No, because that's not nice. I don't want to say crazy. But I seem to attract like the type that are just a little, they struggle a bit. And for me, that has been a struggle because a lot of times it's like anxiety or like, if I could diagnose, I don't know if I'm right, but like personality disorder, what is it called? What is it? But just people that like flip switches on and off, like.
That's not schizophrenia, is it?
Maybe, I don't know. Bipolar, there's so many different ones. I'm really uneducated on most of them, to be honest, but yeah, I feel like I'm a magnet for that. And that's a slippery slope because when you're dating someone that has mental health issues, it's really important to make sure that you don't get sucked down into that world.
Yeah.
Because it does happen, and I've definitely gotten close to dealing with that. But yeah, that's like my direct, I guess, relationship with poor mental health, I guess I would say. So yeah. What have you dealt with, if any?
Anxiety probably would be which I don't know if I've ever been like, I guess I have been officially diagnosed, but when it first was happening, like we didn't really know what was going on. And then like I go through spurts, like I'll be good, and then I won't, and then I will, then I won't. But I think right now I've been okay.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like it's scary when you first have like episodes because you don't really know what's going on, and even
I like remember the day exactly too. It's like
that's wild.
It was like I feel like I was like in middle school or maybe like 9th grade.
Oh, so young.
And I remember you were here. You were like living here. Mom and Dad like went to the store, and like my mouth was just dry, and like no matter how much I drank, it would not.
They took you to the hospital or something, right?
Or I think they were going to, but I like was calling them yes, and I was like crying, and then yeah, somehow they like diagnosed it as a panic attack. But yeah, I did not know. Like it went from that to like my throat's closing, so I can't breathe. Which like how I don't even know how I came up with that. Like I've never felt those sensations before, but yeah. So and then I had to go to therapy. That helps. I recommend therapy to anybody for anything. But yeah, now it's more so driving on the highway. That's my thing. I need to get over that. Yeah. Oh
man, I thought you got better with that.
No, or just like sometimes just driving in general, and it's just very weird. I don't know.
Is it the other people on the road, or is it just like...
No, and that's like whenever I talk to therapists, they're like, are you afraid of a crash? Have you been in a crash? I'm like, no, actually I think I'm a great driver. And then they're like, are you worried about like other people? I'm like, no. It's like, I think because I've had one in the car on the highway now, every time I get on the highway, I think I'm gonna have one.
Oh, you've had an accident before?
No, a panic attack.
Oh,
like while driving. Yeah,
okay.
so now every time I get on the highway, like, I start telling myself. There's been a few times I've tried to do it and I like will be like, it's just your mind. Because that's literally what it is. And then, yeah, I usually have to call mom to help me while I'm driving. Like, if I'm talking to her, I'll get distracted. But, like, I've tried listening to music. Music doesn't help. It's crazy. Yeah. And it's crazy because I used to, like, I've driven to the beach by myself. I've driven to D.C. I used to drive very far distances. And I don't know. I don't even know what, well, not by myself. There was someone else in the car. But I did the driving.
With somebody else, you were like...
Yeah, because they didn't have their license.
Yeah.
And then... no shade, we're cool. And then one time, my friend, I had a friend that I went to go see Fifth Harmony with, and I drove to her house. She lived like maybe 2 hours away. It was like a country road. I was driving by myself. I was fine. I even popped a tire on the way home. I was fine. I was crying more so that I popped my tire because I had plans the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm like, it's crazy. It's crazy when you think about stuff that you've accomplished and like now you feel like you can't do it.
Because of that one little thing.
Yeah, and there was like no trigger for it when it happened. It was just weird. I don't know. But I need to figure it out because no one has time.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's like super stifling. I mean, I've seen it, I've experienced it, like not personally, but I've seen it in other people, like how much it holds you back from just living life, and like I just can't imagine. And of course, I mean, there's medications out there which
side effects and stuff you have to worry about. It's so crazy because some of the side effects are like feelings of when you have an anxiety attack. So I'm like,
yeah, it's crazy.
How is that helping me?
It's like, well, experience heart palpitations. You may faint, you may pass out.
Great.
Illusions.
But yeah, that too. And I don't think this is. Our aunt just came in.
Family, yes, visiting, so sorry for that.
I'll try to. I know, I'm like, can I edit it out of the video? Probably not. That's just, the mic is by the door. What was I saying? Oh, I don't know if it's like mental health, but I have realized like I'm a like hypochondriac for sure.
Oh,
I feel like it, but not to like, but it's more so of like I'm afraid to try new foods because I'm afraid I'm gonna have allergic reaction because I'm afraid my throat's gonna close and then that gives me anxiety and it's just like a spiraling thingy. Or like even when I am sick and I get medicines, I can't read the side effects because then I'll think I'm having.
It's gonna happen. Yeah. Cause I can see that.
Yeah.
You take it and then you're like waiting for the thing to happen.
Yeah. I'm like, am I feeling the faint? Am I sweating? And it's just like, no, you're not. It's just because you just literally read that. So yeah, no more WebMD for me. Not Googling.
That's the number one thing you do not want to do. That's Google.
My toe hurts. Cancer.
You're dying. I can't. Well, dang, that's crazy. Have you ever tried like any like breathing exercises? Like,
no.
Or has anybody ever introduced you to that?
So they tried to have me do the brown paper bag thing. Which like it does slow down your like breathing if you're hyperventilating, but I feel like
I think we need a demonstration.
I don't think I was hyperventilating though. You're just supposed to have a brown paper bag and like when you see in movies where people are like,
oh, like literally.
Yeah. And they used to be like, keep one in your car. But I'm like, what? So you want me to pull over to the side of the road and breathe in a bag?
That seems like the worst thing you should do is like
but it's
close your airway.
But it's supposed to regulate like the oxygen and CO2 and make you like, I don't know.
I mean, the thing you can do without a paper bag.
I don't know. Well, I guess because they thought I was like hyperventilating, but I don't think I'm ever hyperventilating. Usually like, I can feel it too. Like I start tingling and stuff. And sometimes I've gone through it and it'll pass. And then like, I'll feel like adrenaline after. It's so weird.
Like that pin prickly feeling?
I'll start sweating. I have to like turn on the AC. I have to like roll down my windows. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, for the record, doctors, you can definitely regulate your breath without a paper bag in your face. I cannot. So that's wild.
Yeah. And then like one time I got Xanax, but it was very, very low.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never gave it to me again. And I feel like it helped, but I guess they didn't want me to get like addicted or something. I don't know.
Tripping on them Xanax.
But yeah. And honestly, like I'm so much of like the hypochondriac or whatever it is. I feel like a doctor could give me like sugar pills. They could do the placebo effect on me, and I would probably think it was working and be fine. I probably would be fine. I'd be like, oh, these actually work. And the whole time it's sugar pill. So
I can't.
I'm just saying.
Well, okay. So I did a little bit of like research, if you will. Just they are so good. So just to like talk about some statistics, because we love to do this. And comparing it to different generations, they said that Gen Z is the highest, or they seem to have the highest report of having the poorest mental health out of any generation, which I feel like I could see that.
Yeah, that can stem from a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so one of the things they mentioned was COVID, definitely playing a big part in that. And then just how connected to the internet and like...
Did they say anything about social media?
Yeah, social media, internet, and how I think it said that like a lot of the therapists tend to see their patients come in and talk about comparison, like comparing themselves to others, and like suffering with immense depression and loneliness plays a big factor because again, like some of our generation and Gen Z mostly, they spend a lot of time secluded because we're doing this, we're on the phone. That's how people connect nowadays. And it just made me wonder, like, I wonder what.
I think the camera stopped. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It made me wonder, like, just with the, I feel like millennials being like one of the last generations who did spend time in person, like, why, I guess it's a little bit less, like, at least the social aspect is a little bit lesser for us than it is for Gen Z. I feel like millennials, most of our mental health and depression and stuff comes from financial, like, life stability type stuff because we're just struggling. We're struggling. We are struggling. I know we grew up differently. What was your like upbringing like? That sounds weird. Shouldn't I say that?
We're in the same house.
No, but what was it like for you growing up? I didn't see it. Literally though, I was like never here. But I know, I feel like I spend a lot of time outside, and I mean child outside, but also like into early 20s outside. So like, do you feel like things were kind of different for you, or what was it like after 9/11? How old were you?
I remember like I was in the first grade when that happened or something.
Do you remember much of it? Like, do you have any feelings about it?
I think the only thing I was worried about, which funny enough, our aunt from New York is here, and I think I was worried because they lived there, but I didn't know what was going on. But I don't know, for some reason I thought they lived right next to the World Trade Center, but they did not.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, sometimes I wonder if that didn't happen, if I wouldn't be afraid of flying. Because I definitely am afraid of flying. But I'm like, I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Or if it's just like the claustrophobia-ness of being on a plane. I don't know. It could be both. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I went outside a whole lot. Like elementary. A lot. Elementary. Quiet on set. Elementary to...
Quiet on the set. We need to talk about that.
I'm screaming. That has something to do with mental health too. Some of the stuff. Yeah. But yeah, elementary school to middle school. Definitely outside. I talked about it a little bit last episode, like walking to the mall, walking to football games, whatever. And then like 17-ish,
Like, where did the shift happen? Because I feel like you got to experience.
Well, I don't know, because I graduated. Okay, so I graduated, and then I was at home. I don't even think I was working. Shout out to my parents. I wasn't forced to work. Then I wasn't forced to go to school, college. I had like, that's when me and Janae. No, not even that. That's before me and Janae got close. I moved in with you, and I celebrated my 7th. Pause, please.
Hold on, guys. We're just gonna tell la familia. Cállate la boca.
I know, I'm getting like I think calling her would be easier. Y'all about to hear them.
I'm scared.
Do you want to hear like my
Not you not answering. And we're in the same house.
Calling back. Hello. A little bit, yeah. It's okay.
Right.
I forgot what I was saying.
You talking about going to the mall, and then you said like 17. Around 17.
Yes. I remember I celebrated my 17th birthday, like, living with you in your apartment, and
The first D?
Yeah, and Jeremiah was a baby, and I was like helping you take care of him.
Man, that was that long ago.
Yeah, I remember because you got me tickets to see the One Direction movie for my birthday. And then I came back here and I brought Janae with me to the movies, whatever. And like while I was there with you, me and her would Skype a lot at night, like really late hours, and that's how we got close, which is so crazy because we weren't even that close in school. We were in the same art class. We had mutual friends, but we weren't close. But like those late night Skype calls, we really did it. So then that happened, and then I moved back. I was working. I would sometimes hang out with people, but then I feel like I was wrapped up in a boy, so
As we all have.
I kind of like wasn't talking to my friends much, and then
did your friends get mad?
a little bit, but then we like rekindled. I moved into like my little townhouse. They would visit sometimes. I would go see them sometimes, but like that whole 20
yesterday you were saying this was like
maybe I want to say 22 or no 20 to like 25. I was wrapped up in a person, and that I will say that messed with my mental health a great deal. A great deal, and I didn't know it. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like it messed up his too. I feel like we both, I feel like that was just not, that was just not, it's not good. But it's okay. Everyone's cool beans now, but at that time, I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like for my older generation of millennials, as we are, we never really had that time of like a ton of like virtual, like we texted, we had the sidekick, like we talked about or whatever, but a lot of our interactions were like on the phone or getting on the phone strictly just to make plans to get together in person. And then I feel like techie stuff and like social media didn't really start popping until end of high school. So like going into adulthood, which I feel like at that point of our lives we didn't really have time to hang out like we used to before anyway, because everybody started having babies.
I'm gonna talk about that.
Everybody started having babies and like
just the like
so much.
beginning tech stage, because like that's like when Instagram started. Like for you, like as an adult, but for me, it's like in like the end of middle school. That's just so interesting.
We had MySpace, and
I remember having MySpace.
end of middle school is when it got big. Into
Top
high school.
5.
Oh my god. Listen. So yeah, it's just crazy how the shift is like so different from when maybe some of the mental health starts, because I will not lie, as a full adult, now that social media is so popular, it does affect us too, even the older generations of millennials, like in our 30s and probably 40s too. Because you just comparing yourself to people and, oh, they have a house, or they're married. I'm not, like, it's, yeah.
I've seen like 3 proposals like in the past week of people of my age, and I'm like,
yeah, it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong.
That's
And I would say that probably is something personal for myself as far as like mental health. Like I have had moments where I've gone back and forth with like struggling with that and not struggling with it, and like knowing how to get out of that headspace. But it's so easy to get wrapped up in like what they're doing over there and what you're not doing, and like where you messed up and why you're not on the same level, and like you just go down a rabbit hole, and it's a dark place.
yeah. But then like sometimes I take a step back and I think about it. I'm like, I can't be married. Like, I mean, I can be, but I like sometimes I still feel like I'm like 16, even though like obviously I'm not. But it's just like, what? Like that just seems like such an adult thing to do. Like that just seems, I don't know.
Which is crazy because babies are doing it. Like people being married when they're like 22.
Yeah.
Which is, to me, it's like, even at 22, I could not have imagined getting married. Like I probably talked about it jokingly, but like looking back, it's like all the things you go through in your early 20s. It's like, how?
Right.
And those of y'all that are still married from like high school,
I know.
God bless, because I'm sure, I mean, y'all could write books on your relationship, because ain't no way. There's
especially
no way.
with like social media tied in.
There's no
like,
way
I feel
y'all
like
have not
that's
gone through
just
stuff, like major stuff, because man. So yeah, generations definitely, I feel like, go through different types of mental health issues. Big ones I feel like are like suicide. I feel like that's a big one that's like talked about, but also not really talked about enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because in terms of like work, my career field is like one of the top.
Really?
Yeah, it's like one of the top fields that has the highest rate of suicide.
Whoa.
Especially with
That's shocking.
veterinarians. Like,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So it's really sad, and it's a big thing in the veterinary community, and a lot of people don't know about that, but it just comes back down to like compassion fatigue and like burnout, and like we do work that is like so heartfelt, and like we have to put our all of us into, like all of ourselves into, heart, soul, blood, literally blood, sweat, and tears, just to oftentimes not get paid what we're worth, get completely disrespected by pet owners. Like I'm talking about violated, especially since COVID. Like y'all be out here acting crazy, telling us that we're in it for the money, telling us we don't care about their pets, treating us like we're just garbage. Like, especially the veterinarians who, you know, they literally save your pet. And y'all don't realize how invested they are, like, in patient care, and how much they care about the work that they do, because they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't. Right. And we definitely don't make a whole lot of money.
That's like,
so,
not all, but I've seen people have brought up like nurses. How like, well, people say, because I don't know any personal nurses, that like the newer generation of nurses are just in it for the money. Like they don't really care.
I believe that.
And they're like, we're all doomed like when we're in our 80s because.
I believe that.
So yeah, but I'm like, that's probably what people think of you guys, but that's not.
Yeah, no, the reason they think that is because it's expensive. Like, veterinary care is expensive. I will not lie to you. It's crazy. If I didn't work in the field, I could not afford. I work in the field actually, and I still can't afford it. So, it's expensive. But what kills me is that people box animals in this category where they're somehow like less worthy than humans. And it's just like the mindset of people that they're like, oh, it's just a dog.
Right.
It's just a dog until you're crying at our doorstep, like begging us to save your pet's life.
Right.
But then when we tell you how much it costs, for some reason, people can't make the connection of medicine. Like,
It's like a kid.
it's still
It's
medicine.
like having a kid.
I don't know what y'all think we actually do.
Right.
This is my meltdown right here. It's happening.
Okay.
I don't know what y'all think we actually do, but it's medicine. We admit your pet the same way you get admitted. Your pet gets triaged just like you get triaged when you go to the hospital. We run blood work. We take samples. We actually run the blood work. When you go to the hospital, a lot of times your blood work results don't come back right away. Maybe in the ER, I don't know how that works. But we run that stuff ourselves. We take all the samples. We place the IV catheter. We take diagnostic images. We do all of the things. You name it, radiographs, ultrasound. Like, we're capable of scanning your pet in an MRI. Like, and then there's patient care. Just like you have a hospital stay, you get hospitalized, they charge you for that shit. Like, we do the same thing, except maybe a little bit more. So I never understood why people have the audacity to look at us and be like, and again, I agree, it's expensive, but so is human healthcare. The only difference is there's way more insurance options. When you go,
there's like pet insurance is a thing.
there is pet insurance, but there's a lot of like stipulations with it. Like, you can't just oftentimes get really good insurance or insurance at all, like just willy-nilly. Like, the best recommendation is to get it when you have a puppy before things start happening, because it's
Good
just
to know.
it's a whole
for
thing.
when I'm gonna get my next dog.
Yeah. But it's just different with the healthcare system and like how you're able to have co-pays and all that stuff, because you're paying for yourself essentially. But this is different, and you have to actually pay out of pocket oftentimes. There are options to do payments and like get credit cards or whatever, care credit. But it's at the end of the day, it's medicine, and we do the work and we do the care and we care for your pets, and we're out here getting bit, getting dragged across the floor, getting spit on, getting peed on, getting pooped on, like, and then we come at the end of all of this to you to then get cursed out. So like, imagine how that feels for anybody in the healthcare field. Like, it's terrible. And I don't get it, because you claim to love your pets so much, but the minute we tell you, hey, in order to assist with saving your pet's life or helping you with the situation, you have to give us money. Y'all are like, what? That's insane. I don't believe this. And it's just crazy. So that affects us heavily, because again, we get into this because we're passionate about it, because we care for these animals, and people that love animals, we're different. We're just different types of people. Like, we love hard. So, you know, it sucks. And unfortunately, just like anywhere else, there's people out here that struggle a little bit more than others. And they unfortunately do take their lives. Like, and we're around injectable drugs and strong powerful medications every day. So a lot of it happens in that way, especially with vet techs. Like, the drugs are unsafe. That's why we have controlled drugs. That's why we have to report and keep track of these things, because it happens. It just happened recently. A couple months ago, earlier this year, a vet tech. I think she walked in front of a railroad track after her shift or something like that. Forgive me if the information's incorrect, but that's what I heard. But stuff like that, and then some of them, they take the drugs out of the safe, take them home. Next day they don't come to work because they overdosed or overdosed themselves on propofol or ketamine or whatever. So it's crazy. So it's very scary, and people don't consider it or realize it, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Do you feel like there's aspects of your job that can affect your mental health? Like, does burnout, I'm sure it does exist.
Yeah.
With that level of teaching
But-
kids that age, I'm sure it does.
But not like, well, I don't know, for me, not that drastic. But also, I feel like, I'm not going to say it's easier, because I don't like when people say that. People think, like, we're just babysitting because we're at a childcare center, but it's not a daycare. Like, we have to make lesson plans. Like, This is like there's a wait list for my job to get into my job. But I think
sure y'all have
for maybe like public school teachers, I can see that leading to like something more drastic. Because, like, unfortunately, people like shoot up schools and stuff. Like, I feel like they have to deal with like so much. Yeah. So
Safety, keeping all these kids alive
Mm-hmm.
for 8 hours a day, like dealing with behavior problems, raising these kids, essentially. Like, teachers, y'all help raise our kids, period. Like, I spend 90% of my day at work, which means you spend 90% of your day with my kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, thank you. God bless. You are a part of what they say, it takes a village but I can't imagine.
But I will say, I feel like, not to put anyone on blast at my job, even though I don't know if y'all are watching this. But we've all kind of talked about like our mental health to an extent. Some of us feel like, and a lot of us are like millennials / whatever.
Zillennials.
Yes. So we all can like kind of like relate to each other in that aspect, and
Do you feel like this is getting us off track? I'm sorry, we're trying to. We can save this for another episode, but just on the topic of like work ethic and millennials, Gen Z. Yeah, we got to talk about this one day. Because you are so close to the line, do you feel like you have a lot of young people at your job that like just don't have the same work ethic as you, or just are lazy?
Yeah, because they're college kids. No offense, but they're college kids, and some of them.
It's just a paycheck.
Some of them, yes, but some of them are doing it to get hours because they're getting a degree in childhood education, or they're going to be teachers in a public school, so they have to work here. So some of them, I'm like, yes, like they're so good with kids. Like I can tell they're into this because they're in it because they like it. But there have been some in the past who can no longer work there. That it's just like, you wanted a summer job. Yeah. Like they literally are here for the summer, or like they're here for the school year and then they go back home. And
I was just curious about that.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, they're part-timers, so it's like they're not even there a lot of hours anyway, so I can see why they don't really care much. It's okay. It's so funny, because I'm definitely in the middle, because we have like college kids, and then we have like people with like kids in the 2nd grade, like adult, like grown, like people that are not way older than me, but so. Yeah, in the middle ground at my job.
It's definitely hit or miss, I feel like, because I have worked with younger people, I'm talking like your age, early 20s, where like you see a difference in how we work. And like I feel like older generation millennials, like we're so like business, like this is my job, I take it seriously. And then y'all are like so. You have some that are like really about working and they do their job well, but then you have some that they just cut up and they play around. But on the topic of like work ethic and just mental health again, I feel like you guys are a lot better at taking care of your mental health. Like with the quickness will be like,
I'm taking a day
off.
Yeah.
I'm done here.
Or like quitting or something.
I don't need this. I don't need to take this. Like
no 2 weeks notice, like just leaving.
Boundaries.
Like leaving during my lunch break. Bye. Not coming back. That's happened. People have gone to lunch and not come back.
Dang.
Yeah. So
I mean, more power to you. If it was for a good reason, like that's amazing. But if it was just because you were just being lazy, can't. But yeah, boundaries. Oh my God. That is something that I had to learn and I've been working so hard on for a long time. Is
boundaries,
yeah. Setting boundaries.
Where? All aspects of life?
All aspects of life, but especially at work. I feel like that's kind of where it started, like teaching myself that, because again, 90% of your time is spent at work, and that is where 90% of your stress and your anger is going to come from. But yeah, y'all are so good. Your age group is really good at setting those boundaries and being like, no, I'm not going to do this. You can't do this to me. Here's the evidence to back it up. This is why this is not okay. And you're just like, period.
Receipts.
Yes. So yeah, I've worked hard on that for a long time. And especially right now, like it's all boundaries. I don't know if it's just I turned 35 and a switch went off, or I'm just over it. And like, life is too short. Like just realizing how short life is, and like people are just dying left and right. Learning that we're not getting appreciated at these jobs. Like I should be making more money. Just little stuff like that. You're just like, why?
They always say like, oh, you can die tomorrow and they just replace you.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't, you know.
The moments you think about that, you're like, those are the moments where you're like, I will book the trip.
Yeah.
I will spend this last bit of money on the thing that I really want because it makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't feel bad for it because, yeah, like, you gotta live life. You just gotta live it. Period. End of story. So, yeah. I know you brought up boundaries recently.
I did.
I think you did, yeah. I think you did. I feel like you said something about, like, you said something about how you're just being more, like...
Oh, when you asked me what my thing of life is or something the last episode.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just something I'm noticing about you. Like, do you feel like you're setting more boundaries? I feel like...
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah. Connecting back to your mental health stuff, like, on a relationship level, I definitely have seen a change from the last one. I'm looking at you.
I'm screaming! Screaming.
Hi, if you're watching this, but also...
I'm screaming! I'm so weak. But yeah. Even, I think, like sometime last year, even friendship-wise.
Oh my God, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Like, some things unfolded, and it made me realize, and I just, like, thought back in situations like, wow, like, that wasn't really kind of you, or like, you weren't really being the greatest of friend at the time, but I didn't realize until it's too late, like, we're not friends right now, but it is what it is. So now I know going forward, boundaries, standards, what I'm gonna take. If someone sends, like an example, if someone sends me a paragraph and I don't want to respond, I'm not responding.
And I won't feel bad for it.
Yeah.
At all.
Or sometimes I won't even read it. Because
Yeah.
what are you talking about? What are you going on about? Like, it's just certain stuff like that.
A big one to work on, and just for anybody, but definitely for me, is like making yourself less available for people, and like not feeling like you have to respond to that text right now, or like feel guilty about it, or like, oh shoot, I was tired. Maybe I saw it,
or like I opened it and I literally forgot. And
yeah,
that literally happens.
Yeah. But even if you didn't forget,
oh yeah, didn't. Yeah, you just didn't want to read it.
Like, I get it, sis. Like, you saw it. Maybe you didn't have the answer for me right now. That's okay. Like, take your time.
Yeah.
And if it's that important to me, I will hit you up again in the morning, or I'll call you. Call them. Call them on the phone, and be like, hey, I need an answer to this now. But you're like, I don't get mad about that stuff anymore, because I get it, and there's days where, like, literally I have 10,000 things going on. Get home at the end of the night, there's, like, all these messages, and I'm like, shoot, I forgot to answer this person. They're going to think I'm a terrible person. They're going to think I'm an asshole. But then I'm like, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I feel this way is because of the phone. Because if this were real life, you literally could not reach out to me. You could not get a hold of me.
Right.
But the cell phone makes us feel like so, like, yeah, like this person should answer me. And it's like, I don't have to be available just because I'm available, if that makes sense. Like, by phone. Like,
That's a good point.
That's a big thing. So I recommend everybody work on that because it's very fulfilling, and the more you practice it, the less you feel bad about it. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know what time it is. I cannot see.
Oh, it's 9:28. I'm sorry, 9:38.
How long has it been? I don't know.
Oh, it's been like almost 50 minutes.
Okay. Just checking on time, guys. But we're having a good conversation. So yeah, just on the topic of like that, I think that's a big thing to work on as far as like keeping your mental health in check. Therapy is a big one, which we talked about. As Bree said, I agree. If you're not in therapy, do it.
Yeah, even if it's just to talk to people.
Yeah.
It's without getting it in a biased opinion and stuff. Because then you can vent to your sister, you can vent to your friends, you can vent to your parents, you can vent to your significant other. But like, they're either like going to take your side because of who they are, or not take your side because of who they are. Because some friends are like really like blunt and they will let you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes you just need an unbiased opinion.
Yeah. Or they simply have their opinion of the topic, which makes things not really helpful.
Yeah.
And your therapist is not going to do that.
Because they don't.
A good therapist.
They don't know you.
Yeah.
Like they'll know you, but like I'm sure they have a bunch of other clients, so like they don't really know you like that.
Yep. I recently got my son into therapy simply because why not? You know what I mean? Like, think about it as children. If we had somebody to get our stuff off to, like, that would have been so great outside of our friends. Because at the time, you feel like, yeah, I can talk to my friends. But no.
Backstabbing.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it just shows how important mental health is to our generation. Like, I feel like doing things like that for our kids is really, really doing well by them because it's going to help them so much. And then again, just being able to have that outlet because there's so much of this and screens and like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing I've been noticing, like, with how much kids these days are not present. And it is so important for mental health to get these kids outside, get them to socialize because they literally struggle to have social conversations.
Right.
Everything is like awkward. Everything is like, how do I hold this phone? Oh my God. I called him this morning. Called by this morning because I told him to text me when he got on the bus. Didn't text me. So I called him. He brings up the phone. It's like mad noise in the back. I'm like, okay, he's on the bus. So I was like, are you on the bus? Silence. Well, silence from him, but I just hear blah in the background. I'm like, yeah, huh? He's like, I can't really hear you that well. I was like, okay, are you on the bus? He's like, yeah, I'm on the bus. I can't really hear you. And I was like, I told you to text me. Silence. I'm like, silence. I'm like, I just hung up on him because I was like, I cannot. But, and I know he could hear me, but I'm just like, I could just picture him just sitting there like this. I just can't. And it's like simple, everyday instances like that. They just like, they don't know what to do. And it's just like, hello, I'm talking to you. And they're like, huh? What? I was thinking about video games.
I'm screaming.
I can't.
Screaming.
So yeah. Do you have anything else to suggest to the people? I suggest setting hard boundaries. Definitely consider therapy. Spend time with your people. that you love. Spend time with your friends. Like, it's so important to have that, like, one-on-one time with one another. And just
spend time alone. If you need it. I know we talked about
the opposite way.
I know we talked about, like, loneliness and stuff.
No, you're right, though.
But sometimes your friends and your family are overwhelming. So give yourself boundaries.
Basically, yeah.
Space.
Give yourself what you need.
Yeah.
Like, figure out what it is that you need and really tap into that. Like, tap into what feels good when you're doing it and be like, oh, this is my thing.
Like, if you're like 18 and older, don't feel obligated to do stuff. Because I know, like, when you're like 16, I don't know if I have any 16-year-olds listening or watching, but like, if your parents are like, let's go to the family cookout, you can't be like, no, because like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like, yeah, if you don't want to go to a family outing,
it's fine.
And technically speaking, you don't have to explain yourself either.
Right.
Just like, I just need mental health day. What did you do? What happened?
I forgot to record.
No!
Oh no.
I was yelling at them for no reason.
Well,
Give you some of that. You're gonna need it. Yeah.
oh my god.
That's good.
Do I want to cry? Do I want to cry right now?
We're just starting Millennial Meltdown. Forgot to press record. Hi, we're recording now.
Guys, this is episode 2. And we literally forgot to hit record. I'm recording this now because one day this is going to be funny. Not today. It ain't funny right now, but one day. Oh my god.
Damn, Daniela.
I don't even know. We made a big oopsie and forgot to hit the red button and record this episode. So, if you want to check it out, head over to our YouTube channel and watch it.
Yeah.
And it's better to watch it anyway. I feel like it's fine. But if you're listening to this in the car, have a good day. Enjoy your commute wherever you're going, and we will be back for episode 3.
Yeah.
But just to close out, take care of yourself, set those boundaries, take care of your mental health, and leave us some messages. Send us emails if you like for topic suggestions. If you want to be a guest on our show, let us know. And follow us on all of our socials. Our channel for the podcast is at Generationally Speaking Podcast. Or Generationally Speaking Podcast. My regular Instagram is at yogi_LBT_. And Bree is
Brianna.Cherise.
Oh my god, say this to Mike.
Brianna.Cherise is on the screen.
Yes. Well, they're gonna be in the car.
Brianna.Cherise. CHARISSE. Brianna with one N and an I.
We will also put this down. Bear with us, guys. Don't cancel us yet, okay? Thanks for listening. Bye. Oh my god, I can't believe that! At least we got it.